going. And we're live.
Tweet sent. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Today is Ubisoft Forward Day. Uh, Weird name for a conference. I get it because it's like, hey, yeah, the new direction of Ubisoft. But we'll get into it in a second. But like, weird time to be doing a thing like this. I'm Christian Buckley. I'm your host today. Joining me, as always, is Fascinated Jack himself, at Jack Martin.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
I'm happy to have you here, Jack. Alongside you is Kevin Diaz, the
What's
Cozy
going on?
Conductor.
How we doing? You know what I just realized, Jack? Your screen name is an adaptation of Handsome Jack. Is that intentional?
No, I've never played Borderlands.
Holy shit.
You want a little insight into my Twitter name?
Why not? Absolutely.
So I was considering starting my own YouTube channel like years ago, and I was going to call it Fanatic Fascinations, and I never did.
Okay.
And that's how my thank you. That's how my Twitter name came to be.
I see.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, today we got Ubisoft. You know, we're back. It's been a little bit since Summer Games have done a thing. Kevin and I were here the other day for Devolver. Jack, did you watch the Devolver show?
No, I was on a wild goose chase for a bookcase that I never got. So I couldn't catch that. How did it go?
I liked it.
I
Kevin
liked it a lot. Oh, you'd be surprised about where we ranked it.
Yeah, we'll get to that after the show here today. It was a fun show though. They didn't show a ton of games, but it was a good show.
Yeah, they always have an interesting level of humor and like self-deprecation that I appreciate.
Yes.
So that's cool.
Industry deprecation this year. Let me tell you that.
Oh, awesome!
Yo, it was
awesome.
It was fucking fantastic.
So today is Ubisoft. Ubisoft. Do we want to like lead with this? Ubisoft put a tweet out this morning. They're like, "Hey, we didn't want to delay our show. We know there's a bunch of corporate shakeups going on right now because of sexual misconduct and harassment." And they're like, instead of doing anything, here's the show and here's a tweet that says we're sorry. And like it's like just hindsight, the fact that it's called Ubisoft Forward, it's like, yeah, new era, but we're also not gonna add a little voiceover addressing the massive industry shaking things the other day. Like Schreier was blown away by some of the stuff that happened.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like it's like hard to be like, oh, okay, like I understand, but also it's hard the same reflection of like I can't imagine. I mean, I don't know because we don't work at Ubisoft, you know what I'm saying? But like,
yeah,
I don't know if adding a VO in a splash screen or even like putting that. You know, like
tweet?
putting some sort of text like up in front of this stream. Like I don't know how much work that would feasibly actually require. You know,
yeah,
if that makes sense. But like, I won't be partial because like I don't work at Ubisoft. I have no idea what goes into putting on this. So
right, and it's not like the people who work on the PR side that like are responsible for probably editing this video. It's not like they had final say over it, you know. Like it's probably an executive decision, and the executives are the ones in question right now, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
GMO. Thankfully, I think he's all right, but.
And at the end of the day, I feel like whatever they would do to sort of address this, someone would be angry.
Right.
I will say this is better than what Crystal Dynamics did with Avengers. The narrator of that trailer was someone who was outed as an abuser in the industry, and they just did nothing and let it happen. So certainly better than that.
Yeah. Because I remember I think it was you, Jack, that like while we were watching it, you're like, hey, like, isn't that the guy? We're like, oh, I mean, I don't know. And then like I remember thinking like,
and
like
it sure was.
I was like, man, like there's like no way they would, put it up on the VO. Like there's no way. Yeah. And lo and behold,
front and center. Yeah.
So worth getting out ahead of it, because there is that overtone for whatever they do today. That's still something that is the reason Ubisoft has been in the news this week. It's not because it's like, oh yeah, their E3 presentation Sunday. But this is a somewhat reorganized E3 presentation. Before we get into crazy predictions, we can save that for like right before the show. I want to say, I feel like we know everything that's going to be here today. Like, I don't think there's going to be many surprises. I think Far Cry 6 might have been the surprise, but earlier this year we saw Ubisoft push most of their games out of this fiscal year after the reception of Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which was a great call because I tried that Breakpoint beta as a huge Wildlands fan. Holy shit,
Right.
not good. So usual suspects of the past few years, like Watch Dogs Legion, the new Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, they're locks, right? They're not going to not show those games. So, Jack, do you think that gives you like a bit of a lesser level of excitement or interest in what you could see today? Because it really rests on where you're at with those other games right now.
Yeah, my expectations with Ubisoft are usually pretty low. I'm not the biggest Ubisoft fan. I think the two franchises that stand out for me are Far Cry and Assassin's Creed, and I haven't played Assassin's Creed in a while, like any of the new entries. But historically, I do like that series, and Far Cry I enjoy. I think I was not super impressed with Far Cry 5, but with what's happening supposedly with one of the new protagonists being potentially Voss, I think that could be an interesting from Far Cry 3. I think that could be an interesting direction for the series, which is generally not tied together story-wise.
Right.
But knowing what we're gonna get, I think Far Cry for me is the most interesting. If we get any surprises, that would be cool. I don't think we'll get a Splinter Cell surprise. I don't think we'll even hear about Beyond Good and Evil, which is wild to me because that game was announced years ago. But I think this will be a fairly straightforward Ubisoft press conference. What I will say, the thing I'm most excited for is that it is digital, and hopefully, I hope to God we do not get a Just Dance like, oh let's have Cirque du Soleil come up for like 5 minutes. Like,
you see, that's where you're wrong, though. You see, that's where you're wrong because they're not gonna resist having a bunch of Zoom squares and people dance. You know they're gonna do it.
Oh no,
they're definitely gonna do
Yeah.
it. Like they're definitely gonna do it.
Probably.
Kevin, you and I feel like out of the three of us are more positive about Ubisoft, or like we enjoy more of their games.
Oh
on
yeah,
a regular basis.
Absolutely, yeah.
And for you, as somebody who greatly enjoys Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you just put it on your top 10 games of all time officially on Gamescast.
Very much so.
Where are you at for Valhalla right now? Like, I know you've been going through the DLC for Odyssey lately. You still ready? You still hungry for more Assassin's Creed? What would you want to see the most today?
So like I feel like how we're gonna get it is that, like, you know, considering that we had like half an hour leaked like last week, I think it was. Yeah. I think they're gonna show like 7 or 8 minutes and then put up that full thing online for us to see afterwards. And like I know like a lot of people have been playing it, so I think there's a lot of people that have gameplay that they're gonna post right after this and have their impressions and stuff like that. But with Valhalla, I mean, I looked a little bit at the leak stuff, not fully. I just wanted to because like it was in 720p. I just wanted to watch it in full 1080 whenever they put it out today.
Right.
But with that, I mean, I like a lot of people were saying that like, oh, it looks similar to Odyssey, and I'm completely okay with that. You know,
yeah,
it is what it is. Like I'm totally down for more Odyssey type of gameplay and stuff like that. So that doesn't take that much to please me personally. Yeah.
Do you think they have a lot to do if it does end up being similar to Odyssey and Origins like heavily? Do you think that they have work to do to make it sell next gen, or do you think a lot of people are just going to be like, hey, I liked Odyssey, it ran fine, I'll just get this on a PS4?
Yeah, I think they would have to do a little bit of work, but listen, we're starting right now. Let me bump this volume real quick.
Prince of Persia, please. That's all I ask.
It's happening. It's happening.
Explore the hype wheel. So, any final predictions, crazy things you guys want to see?
I mean, I would love to see Splinter Cell, but I don't think that would ever happen today.
Gods and Monsters release date within the next 6 months.
To be co-hosting the first Ubisoft Forward with the talented Yusuf Magid.
Hey.
Today's show is all about getting up close and in-depth with all the exciting games we have in production here at Ubisoft.
There's those squares, Kevin.
I'm Yusuf, but there's no time
There
to
we
waste.
go.
Maybe
So
not
let's
the
head
Zoom
straight
squares,
for the
but
streets of futuristic
squares
London
indeed.
and see what the hackers
Oh,
of Dead
Watch
Set are
Dogs
getting
Legion.
into.
Okay. Watch Dogs Legion. Okay. This one at E3 didn't.
The illegal painting
I wasn't that
spreading
impressed at
subversive and
E3.
hostile messaging over the last few weeks across London are not the work of several people, as was originally believed, but the work of an individual. The criminal, suspected to have links with the terrorist group Dead Set, is masked as supposed to be dangerous. Authorities recommend not to approach the individual.
First, they came for the foreigners, and I did not speak out because I was not a foreigner. Then they came for the protesters, and I did not speak out because I was not a protester. Then they came for the journalists, and I did not speak out because I was not a journalist. And then they came for street artists, but I did not speak out because I am not a street artist. And I realised that eventually they'd come for me, and there would be no one left to speak for me.
We had that tweet from Sniper. We said, but when they came for gamers, we rose as one.
You know, I was gonna say, please, dear God, say when they came for the game.
When they came for gamers, we rose as one.
Right! Oh, nice! Where are we off to, sir?
It's fine. I'll show you the way.
Okay. Sorry, miss.
Yeah, it's a
Jesus.
time cartoon.
All right, so we're in a total mess now, so let's get the hell out of here.
At first,
Do you have like some of the trailers?
yeah. At first, I was like, wait, like, why does it look so choppy? I'm like, oh wait, no, this is the art style they're going like for this
Yeah,
trailer.
Yeah. It seems like they're going for like a Spider-Verse vibe
Right?
a little bit.
Yeah.
The main arteries through the city are blocked. Hundreds of heavily armed Albi
Well, well, well. Welcome to the Resistance. Here's a welcome gift for our new members.
but the disappearance of the criminal
You could have told me it was a bloody costume party.
has been raised.
Try it on.
The new key suspect has been identified as David Ford, a 43-year-old London taxi driver. He has no criminal record, but is currently believed to be a terrorist. People have been asked not to approach him. The authorities advise all residents.
I'm Clint Hawking.
Clint has been a longtime creative force here at Ubisoft, and now he's bringing this vision to Watch Dogs Legion.
So yeah, what we just saw was an amazing short film by the director Alberto Mielgo that was inspired by Watch Dogs Legion and looks at the game and the universe and the characters through his incredible artistic vision and visual style.
The city needs a resistance.
Like the film, Watch Dogs Legion tells the story of ordinary heroes setting aside their differences in order to come together as a collective and to fight for a positive change. You can literally recruit and play anyone who you see in the open world. You profile people that are interesting to you. You help them with their problem. You play their origin mission.
Just help me get some closure, and I'll do whatever you want.
Sounds like a DedSec problem. Leave it to us.
And that's how you recruit them into your team. And then they become the heroes of the game and the stars of your story.
And what are you doing in my flat? You with Albion?
Please, think more underground.
You with Albion?
I'm tickled, but think more underground.
What, DedSec? Yeah, right, and I'm Che Guevara. You're done.
And they make the story not only, unique to them, but unique to you as the player and personal to you because they're
I really appreciate
heroes
this because I
that you've
did want to know,
chosen
like,
and
how are they going to format the story?
What would I
with
say to fans? I guess I'd say,
people that you'd be able to play
take care of
as.
yourselves,
I
stay
do
safe.
appreciate this, though.
Welcome to the Resistance.
Because that was something I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about that.
London town.
Yeah.
A modern metropolis.
I do wonder
how
built on history and prosperity.
Especially with VO.
Only took
Like, are there going to be like 5 voices that...
And one night to tear it all
down.
Oh my God. Listen up. Get all your units to move in and lock down the city.
With London under attack by a mysterious terrorist, the government turns to a private military company called Albion to keep everyone safe. What could possibly go wrong? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nigel Cass, CEO of Albion. He's kindly stepped up to establish order.
Looks oddly close to home.
I will not allow anyone, not even myself, to jeopardize this.
He will stop at nothing to permanently control the city.
Yeah,
Yeah. London will be the first city in the world to be made truly safe.
Nigel's not the only opportunist who's taken a liking to this fair city. Meet Mary Kelly, head of the most powerful crime syndicate in London.
Be sure and spread the word.
She and her goons are using the dark web to sell everything from party pills to people.
This microchip is scary, I know, but I got to keep tracks on my merchandise, don't I?
You made me a slave.
You do not want to ruffle her feathers. With the city out on its arse, it now falls on you to build a resistance and take back London.
All right, everyone. Faces on, guns out.
Any of the brave Londoners you see walking the streets
there's gonna be
can be recruited into your team.
Definitely.
Like him.
Definitely.
Her. Or even her. Everyone can become
Not exactly
your
sure
next
off the top of my head
secret
where John Boyega is from.
In our first mission,
but I know
we need to get
he's
some dirt
from
on
the UK.
Nigel
I would love to
Cass,
see
and that means
him be a
breaking
cameo.
into Albion headquarters inside the Tower of London. All the hardy souls you see here are people we have recruited from the streets of London. They all have unique abilities, and you're free to tackle this mission with whoever you like.
Dear God, my eyes. Mikey! Zip up, get to work, and let's never talk about this again.
Like everyone in DedSec, Arthur can hack pretty much whatever. But as a construction worker, he has a particular set of tools that make him handy. He can even call his own cargo drone. Perfect for gate crashing, when you're not invited. And who needs a regular old gun when you have a bloody nail gun?
Come here, you soy-doid shit boy.
Jesus Christ, what is that thing?
It is cool.
Perhaps we could approach this mission differently. If you'd rather keep your distance, we've got you covered. Amy is a drone expert.
What have we here?
A real tech connoisseur.
Hate spiders.
That
but love this one.
that character design is cool as fuck. Her outfit is
What an
so
adorable creepy crawler.
Here we are. Let's class the place up.
A drone expert does have the unique ability to summon their own drone. This little darling is fast and stealthy.
She aimed, she fired, she hit.
I'm reading incoming drones.
She can also hack enemy drones, turning the tide in her favor. And if you are not into direct confrontation, there are more ways than one to get the job done. Recruiting an Albion officer like Brielle here might be challenging, but it'll get you inside restricted Albion areas.
Don't mind me, just doing recon for a bunch of insurgents.
However, do anything suspicious and she'll probably wind up with a bullet in the back of her head.
You've been approved for entry.
Watch Dogs 3 is out October 29th, according to
We're missing the human element here. I can get the defense minister on the line right now.
That's weird.
Not the biggest Watch Dogs fan, but I do think this is a really interesting way to approach an open world.
Definitely, right?
Yeah.
Criminals streets.
No, wasn't the biggest fan of Watch Dogs 1, but Watch Dogs 2 I love
threatening our
Watch Dogs 2.
families. The
So.
police commissioner himself.
Which, if you're watching,
Assassinated
is
by
free on
terrorists.
PC
Well,
right
that
now,
seems to be enough evidence.
during the
Next
duration
up,
of the stream.
we're crashing Mary Kelly's organ farming operation and putting a stop to it.
That's good. The buyers expect high quality stuff.
And we need a hard nut for this.
Impairing our frontal lobe again, are we?
Bags, don't disturb me in my natural habitat.
Say hello to
Very
Mickey.
weird tone.
The man lives for his team
Like putting another hair on my chest.
and doesn't mind getting his hands dirty. He does have a slight drinking problem, though.
Got like Tony Hawk and Edgar Wright vibes.
And he's passed out. Ah, well,
Definitely.
We'll come back to
That's definitely like a
You know
far
what?
cry from.
Let's go with
the
someone a
first
bit
Watch
more
Dogs. This is
professional.
very, very serious compared to this.
It's almost crass to call him a hitman. Some might even call him an artist. Here's the bastard responsible. Done and dusted.
Not bad if I do say so, innit?
Not everyone in London is a legendary assassin or a super spy, but everyone can be a hero. So get out there, find the best recruits, and build your resistance. It's time to take back London.
Plunging the player into a living, breathing
Do we know
city,
how long the,
teeming with unique
this whole
locales and
presentation is
characters,
gonna be?
has always been a
It's an
central
hour.
pillar of the
I don't
Watch
think we
Dogs
know.
series.
Yeah.
So what goes into building those worlds? Here's Amanda Munt to tell us more.
So I was wondering if this is going on for too long.
My name's Amanda Munt. I'm a level artist on Watch Dogs Legion at Ubisoft Toronto. Being a level artist, I think, is the coolest job in video games because we do get the freedom to kind of like pick and choose what little details we want to depict. And we get ample opportunities to tell the stories that we want to tell in the spaces that we're assigned to. I have the capacity to hide things and, you know, like small little Easter eggs. In AC Unity, there was a boat somewhere in the world that was covered in cats. And then it happened again in Watch Dogs 2. And there may or may not be something in London that is a boat filled with cats in some capacity. So I was fortunate enough to go to E3 last year. Some of the people that I was showing our demo to were from London. So no matter where I dropped them in the city, they'd go, oh my God, this feels like Camden. This, you know, this feels like Southwark. This feels like Westminster. When people are talking about some detail that I've put into the world and they're excited about it, like that feels so good as somebody who, you know, builds these worlds with care. I love it.
And now some news for Brawlhalla fans. In just a few weeks, you'll be able to battle it out with your favorite legends on iOS and Android devices.
Three, two, one, brawl!
Have you guys played Brawlhalla?
No.
You think to put a fighting game like this, like a Smash type fighting game on a console?
Right.
I wonder if that controls.
Interesting.
And now, whether you need a Tom Clancy action fix on the go, or want to dive back into one of the most beloved fantasy franchises in gaming, we've got you covered.
Are we going to the Division stuff?
Tom Clancy on the go though? Does he mean like Switch or like a mobile game?
Oh man, that's upsetting. That's a good point. That's upsetting as fuck.
Well, because if it's like an old Splinter Cell collection or something on Switch, that'd be interesting.
Right.
I don't know what this is though. Might and Magic.
Have you guys heard of this?
No.
I've never heard of this. No.
The target is being held on the ground floor.
Probably Rainbow Six, right? Wait, that's the...
This doesn't
that
seem
guy
like
was from Wildlands. He was the cartel guy.
Really?
Yeah. Elite Squad. Hashtags are very helpful.
Yeah.
Contact! Montaigne is down. Request air support. Target northeast rooftop.
Roger. Inbound. Danger close.
I need an EMP deployed now.
EMP imminent.
Get back in your cell!
Oh shit.
Hey, take this.
Don't make me regret this.
Man, they'll do anything but give you guys a Splinter Cell. They will put him anywhere but give you guys a Splinter Cell.
Speaking of Tom
Fuck.
Clancy, it's been 5 years since Rainbow Six Siege first launched, and the community has never been stronger. In celebration of this milestone, Ubisoft Montreal has put together a special video to thank all of the amazing players and developers that have helped Siege become the game it is today.
Just give me Splinter Cell.
No, he's still gotta make an appearance in a couple of other games.
Yeah, you're right.
In December 2015,
I don't
a
think he's in
small
Division
team
yet.
released Rainbow
I'm shocked he's not in
Six
Division, to
Siege,
be honest with you. I'm shocked. I feel like that'd be just a
Yeah, honestly.
easy one to do.
a game built on a strong vision, creativity,
He's in Wildlands,
competitiveness,
Easter egg in Odyssey,
and team play.
Dude, they're gonna throw him in.
Pour le joueur, le 1er décembre, c'est un début. Mais
I'm trying to be a Rainbow Six
faut
operator,
tout de suite
honestly.
s'engager et dire aux joueurs,
Why is
tu
he
peux
Rainbow? Yeah, he
t'installer,
should be a Rainbow
tu
Six
peux
operator
t'y
at this
installer
point.
aussi,
Like, come on
et
now.
nous serons là.
That original vision was quickly adopted by our passionate
did not
community,
show Valhalla
propelling
yet.
it to a
They've
whole
only
new
shown
level.
Watch Dogs and some mobile games.
I got it! I got it! This is such a special moment.
I meant to
being
ask, do you guys think
at
it's gonna be like
1
another
year
Nintendo
anniversary of
partnership?
Rainbow Six now, game being stronger than
Interesting,
ever,
like
and
the
more
Mario
players today
Rabbids.
than we had in the
Yeah, 'cause
past.
that was
It
2017.
means the world to
If
us.
it is,
Yeah.
I would like it
But
to
we
be in a
also had our
Rayman
share
game.
of challenges.
A Rayman platform, you know what I'm saying? Wow.
Health that touches upon subject like matchmaking, connectivity, all those aspects are absolutely critical to the experience of the player.
I feel like this game would be up my alley, but
Through it
definitely
all,
not.
We're always
yeah,
driven by
I'm constantly
you,
right, yeah.
our community.
It's way
Yeah.
too late.
And
Yeah,
together,
exactly. Everyone's
we
way
grow
too good in this
stronger.
game. Yeah,
That's the thing. That's the
agree.
thing.
There is no sequel plan, and we're here for the next 10 years, so expect more Rainbow Six in your life for quite some time.
Unless there's a mode where it's like you can play this until like level 10.
Look at
Then
this.
I'd be down.
Tous les succès, c'est vraiment le résultat de autant de nous que de vous. Ce jeu, il est autant le vôtre qu'il est le nôtre, nous, l'équipe de développement.
Now 60 million players strong, we're just getting started. From the devs that build the game to the community that plays it, thank you.
If you haven't tried it yet, dive into our new Operation Steel Wave update available now and take Ace and Malusi out for a spin.
A few days ago, we introduced y'all to a brand new multiplayer
Here we
shooter.
go. Okay.
Now,
Is it not a
it's time
battle
to venture
royale?
into the hyperscape.
Did he not say Battle Royale?
It's a multiplayer shooter, and I did not see VR much in the marketing, even though it sounds like one.
Maybe they're trying to hide it. Necessarily, like they don't want to explicitly say, "Oh, it's just another Battle Royale game." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what they're going with, even though it is.
Wait, what was that? A hack in the hyperscape. That's not supposed to be there. Let me get you all up to speed, okay? About 30 years ago, everything that we feared about our future started to come true. We made some good decisions. We made some bad decisions. Actually, we made a lot of bad decisions. So, here we are. 10 billion
too real.
souls living in the crush of
This
the
is way too.
megacities.
Dude, they're literally pushing around the
people at Prisma
Boston Dynamics robot.
Changed everything.
It's fucked up. I'm not pushing no robot. Hell no. I say thank you to Surya every
no.
time I talk to her. I say thank you for a reason.
They gave everyone a way out.
They'll remember that. in 5
Oh,
years.
100%. Of course they will. Of course.
In the
At some point,
hyperscape,
absolutely.
the biggest draw by far is Crown
Is this
Rush.
that Ready Player
This
One?
is where anyone can become someone.
Ready Player 2.
I thought I had a chance to look into any of
I don't know.
I'm kind of really hoping this launches like right now for COD.
That'd be really cool.
I would love that. I would love that so much.
Yeah, I would play this afternoon.
Yeah, totally. Dude, I love me a good battle royale. I'm a sucker.
Yeah, it's a really fun genre, so.
Mm-hmm.
If you get good at Crown Rush,
That's why I'm curious
can
that they're not
change
really
your
like
life.
just saying
It was on the
strange things have been happening.
it was on the
lately.
screen at one point or another.
it. Okay.
In the
Rumors
trailer.
of people getting hurt. Users disappearing from the real world.
This trailer is cool as fuck. This trailer is
A
great.
darker secret lies
Christian, you're
at the
dead on
heart
with
of
the Ready Player
hyperscape,
One vibe to this.
and we have to find it. Some of us are searching for a way up. Some of us for a way out. And for others, a new way altogether. That's what brings us to the edge of the future. To the hyperscape.
looks like there's
I'm
multiple.
JC, creative director on Hyperscape.
JC's work on Far Cry Primal and multiple Prince of Persia titles has established him as a top creative here at Ubisoft.
Don't just drop it.
For me, what's exciting is we started building it from scratch, seeing it grow, adding ideas is really cool.
Hello,
I fucking love
contender.
this vibe. I fucking
Welcome
love this
to the
vibe this game
Hyperscape.
right now.
The game takes place in 2054.
Yeah, again,
it's in a
very
future
Tron. I kinda
where
like-
humanity
Yeah.
has grown a little darker. One of the companies there, they are launching what's called the Hyperscape, which is a virtual world and the internet of the future. It's the place where everything converges. Within the virtual world, there is a battle royale that takes place in the virtual city of Neo Arcadia. Then we also introduce a lot of new things. You get the opportunity to do parkour on the rooftops, to go into interiors where it's much more narrow, much more stressful. You get to go to the landmarks where there's more opportunities to get cool items, but also more players, so it's a risk-reward kind of deal.
Really like the look of this.
Yeah, seeing it in action,
We introduce the notion of hacks, special abilities that you can pick up on the fly to adapt your tactics. With hacks, you can do things like teleport yourself, you can wrap yourself into a ball and bounce around the battlefield.
Nice.
So a lot of abilities that let you have fun, that are toys that you can play with.
Oh
And
shit!
finally, it's
Guys,
made as a spectacle,
oh,
so
shit.
all the viewers will be able to interact with the
shit.
game on different
Wait.
levels through the Twitch extension.
So they said
So
anything
every
about
few minutes,
console
there's
yet,
going to
or
be a
just-
vote.
I mean,
and viewers
Wario
will be
64
able
just
to
tweeted an
decide
open beta
what
is out
effect they
now.
want to affect the whole battle.
If that's
so
on
things
console,
like
I'm
changing
gonna
the
cry,
gravity,
but I don't know if it's on console.
infinite ammo, or stuff like that. So players, while this happens, really have
I
to
think it
adapt
might be
to all
just on
kinds of
PC.
stuff that is happening. So for me, it's really exciting because right now, as we speak, we're launching the open beta, and so it's going to be available for free-to-play for all PC players worldwide. And I really want to thank all the players, all the streamers, and all the viewers who participated in the
console
tech test and
eventually.
who
I
participate in the
know,
open beta.
yeah.
Here's a short glimpse
Damn it, I
of
just
what
wanna
you
play
can
it.
expect.
Watch and learn how it's done.
It does look fun though.
Perfecto.
Do you think this is going to be a
Showtime.
full price game?
It said free to play beta. Well, beta. Yeah, that's mine.
I hope it's free to play, but
I think so.
Let's show them what
It's
I'm
free to
made
play
of.
with like a battle pass or something. I'd give it a shot.
Same.
Go time.
Like the mobility looks kind of fun.
This seems like a game that would do better as a free-to-play game.
Yeah, for sure.
Watch closely.
But like a better one of those, you know? Like,
Yeah.
There's some that are just free to play. It's like, okay, but this looks like really, really good.
Right. I love the abilities. It reminds me of Apex.
free battle pass. Okay. 30 tiers.
Yeah, Battle Pass.
The digital world of the
Sounds-
Hyperscape gave our
free to
artists
play.
and developers
Unless they just
incredible
have that.
freedom when it came to designing characters.
Production manager Anna Maria Muska is going to take us behind the scenes of character design.
My name is Anna Maria Muska. I'm the production manager for characters and weapons on Hyperscape. We have paid an exceptional amount of detail to our characters. We switch different outfits, different fashion statements, different tattoos, different materials until we see them as real individuals, as real people. So the second you pick a character, you see them in game, you understand what their
I guess
motivations
they
are
have,
and
like,
what drives them and
heroes.
what challenges them.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first lineup of characters. This is our default base, but even starting from the hair down, everything has been meticulously thought of. Would this person actually like this type of outfit? Would this person enjoy the type of tattoos that we're putting on them? Will they actually like to be in this body? Each season, we plan to produce new outfits for these characters. So we're hoping some of our players are gonna see the effort and maybe even correlate
I do
some
like the
of the
character designs.
accessories to what's gonna happen in the game.
Yeah, definitely.
We're very excited to
I
see it
got
in
super
people's
bored
hands.
for a game like this.
As we move into the next generation of gaming, Ubisoft has been working closely with console makers to take advantage of all the extraordinary capabilities these new consoles will offer.
Now we have a special guest to tell us a little more.
Hey everyone,
place this weekend.
Phil Spencer from Xbox. With Watch Dogs Legion, Ubisoft is supporting smart delivery. So you will get the absolute best version of the game on any version of Xbox you're playing on. On Series X, you'll get to take advantage of the amazing work the team has done with DirectX ray tracing to create an absolutely immersive version of London like you've never seen before.
But it's probably not.
Ubisoft has a unique ability to create immersive worlds, setting a new bar that continues to drive our industry forward. I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed.
Oh, let's go,
I
baby.
love the time I've spent exploring the world in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I can't wait for you to see the gameplay from Assassin's Creed Valhalla
Legion supports
that's coming up now.
As said by Night.
All right, we know you've been waiting to hear more about this game since it was announced back in April. And now it's time for a deep dive into the world of Vikings.
My name is Julien Laferrière, and I'm the producer of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So a couple of weeks ago, we announced Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and the reaction from the fans was just amazing. The time period of Vikings is really inspiring.
Yep.
When we did our research, we found that, they were not mindless barbarians.
Well, that cinematic show.
Yes. Vikings were actually farmers trying to find new lands for them to settle. And so they had really human motivations. So for us to have this opportunity to tell kind of the real story about Vikings and kind of separate ourselves from the myths and the folklore is really something that drove us to make this game. The team went to Norway and England to take the same roads that the Vikings did, to really experience what it meant to be a Viking at that time.
Took that extra boat all the way.
And then leaving Norway, which is
that true?
Barren but majestic, and just coming by boat
Dude, like we really tried to do
in England
we tried
and
to
see
just
those
double down.
rolling green hills full of sheep, full of life, is just this moment that most likely the Vikings felt as well. You need to see this land of opportunity. And this is exactly the feeling we want players to experience in this game. It is a personal adventure, it is the story of Eivor, a Viking chieftain. Eivor is either a male or a female. You decide when you start the game. They will have to leave Norway to settle in England because you just can't live in Norway anymore. There's too much political pressure, no resources available. Obviously, in England, it's full of Anglo-Saxons and other people, and they don't really want you there. So you will have to fight your way there to kind of build your own settlement and see your clan prosper. Vikings were brutal warriors.
Shields!
And the fact that they were mastering a lot of weapons coming from the medieval times really inspired us to kind of revamp the fight system, to leverage the brutality and the intensity of Viking combat. Vikings were not only fighting face-to-face, they were masters of stealth and deception when needed. They used basically any sort of tactics they could use to win the battle. So we want to portray the full range of combat that you can imagine coming from the Vikings.
That was an awesome game wave.
Yep. So good. AC always has awesome
we are
trailers.
Very happy to finally be able to show you the game we've all been working on. So please enjoy this deep dive into Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Here we go. In-game footage.
In Assassin's Creed Valhalla,
they fought the same thing.
The epic saga
it's not
of the Viking invasion of England. You play as Eivor, a Viking from Norway, who will lead his or her battle-hardened warriors across the North Sea to the British Isles. Eivor is driven by an ambitious goal, to build a thriving Norse settlement in a hostile land.
For the good of our clan, it is time we go a Viking.
Today we raid, that tomorrow we may build.
England is a dark age tangle of broken kingdoms and warring dynasties, a land of opportunity and riches. As you prowl England's rivers by longship, you may raid locations you spot from the shoreline. Ground your ship and blow your horn to lead your raiding crew into battle.
Ooh, the fire arrows, big fan.
Get down.
I see, okay.
Your crew will assist you in all your raids.
Kevin, it looks like a
fighting
nice,
enemies,
like more
battering
fluid
down
version of those
doors,
beach battles.
and stealing cargo too heavy for one set of arms. Whatever riches and resources you pillage may be used to develop your settlement, giving you access to useful services, better tools, and new settlers. At the heart of your settlement is the Alliance map. It will serve as a record of the allies you have made, and a guide for future opportunities. The Viking Age was a time of warriors and legends. In Valhalla, you will find the largest variety of enemies ever assembled in an Assassin's Creed game. Every archetype offers a unique challenge. Some will coordinate with their allies for special attacks, while others will use nearby objects to their advantage, including the bodies of fallen warriors.
And honestly, there was definitely very little variety
you
in
must
the
find and
enemies,
exploit your
you know what I'm
opponent's
saying? So, like, this
weaknesses
is super
to
cool
gain
to
the
see,
upper
too.
hand. Take the fight to your foes with a host of brutal new combat.
Okay, I like that.
Snare them
Okay.
with lightning
Okay, let's go.
Pummel them with
I don't know.
throwing
Last time,
Okay.
Incapacitate them with the new stun system to keep them at a distance, or finish them off.
Oh my god, yo, the way the Northern Lights look right there, holy shit.
Dual wield
That
any
hammer.
two weapons you wish to unleash a deadly
You think
combination
you'll wield
of attacks.
Mjolnir? Think he'll be in here? Definitely, right?
Absolutely.
Customize your fighting style as you see fit, and become a legendary Viking
Stop.
warrior.
Oh, let's fucking go. Holy shit. I'm so down.
All combinations of weapons are available to dual wield, including two shields.
Dual wielding shields.
Holy fuck.
Not all situations call for violence. In this new land, a Viking must find a way to adapt. As Eivor is not welcome in England, you may need to outsmart your enemies, avoiding unwanted attention in towns and bustling cities. Use Eivor's hood and cloak to blend with crowds, and slip past watchful eyes, an unseen hunter among the people.
That is really... Oh, man.
From capital cities and villages to the dense forests and rolling hills of England, exploration is vital to keeping yourself sharp. You must feed off the land if you hope to endure.
The health bar in that
Hunt and
wolf, dude.
forage to replenish your health and fortify your equipment.
That's a big-ass wolf. What the hell?
Search pagan temples and Roman ruins for new activities and challenges to strengthen yourself and your settlement. The more you explore, the more of England's secrets you will reveal.
Ravens, show no mercy!
But as you push deeper into England, the enemy will push back. In a series of climactic moments, Assassin's Creed Valhalla will feature massive assaults in which you will lead Eivor's army into battle against heavily guarded Saxon fortresses.
Today we will reclaim her. Today we fight for your land. And tomorrow we rebuild.
For Istanbul.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will transport you to wondrous and haunted lands, inspired by Norse myths and England's pagan roots. It will challenge and surprise, with unforgettable characters, thrilling triumphs, and tragic losses, giving you the chance to live your own Viking saga.
I can't fucking wait to do like 75 hours of that game. Let's go. God, November 17th. Okay.
9th Century England is truly unlike anything the franchise has seen before. Assassin's Creed Valhalla will release this holiday season on Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, PS4, PC, and Stadia.
Oh, whoa. Damn. Okay.
We're close to wrapping up today, but before we go, our CEO, Yves Guillemot, is here to share a few words.
I hope you will have enjoyed what you have seen today, and that you will love playing these games. I'm proud of our teams for delivering an ambitious, broad, and creative lineup of games. And we haven't shown you everything yet. In fact, we have a lot more to come. So you will have another Ubisoft Forward to reveal even more about our upcoming games. But before ending this show, we have one more thing to share with you.
Not Far Cry.
No. Oh, yeah, Far Cry. Duh. Yep.
Yeah.
I love how a week ago they were like, oh yeah, Giancarlo Esposito is going to be a villain in some game. And everyone's just like, Far Cry?
Far Cry, right? Yeah.
That's why how we were all just unanimously like, yeah, like that's 100% what it is. Like, don't even try it. Like,
yeah. This is beautiful.
Right?
Whatever's happening right now. Big fan.
Yep. I liked Far Cry 5. I didn't finish it because I just kind of got like tapped out, but
yeah. It was just kind of generic Far Cry to me.
100, like, same. It was just, yeah, I agree.
But I'd be down to give another one a go.
Sure. I like the format of that game. That really inspired, like, new... Far Cry 3, I think, specifically inspired, like, how open world games are nowadays.
Wow, yeah. Love these colors.
I know.
Fuerzas ultrapenetrantes, estamos cansados de los farsantes, de los...
I'm very biased, but I love the setting that they're going with in this one.
It's
very
beautiful,
biased,
Diego.
but still.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect, but useless. I have something for you, Diego. Give me your hands.
Papa,
Now, the grenade is simple. It has 4 basic parts. The shell, which contains the explosive, the fuse, the handle, and of course, the pin.
What are you doing?
Breathe. The pin simply holds the handle in place. It is only when you let go that this grenade goes boom. Follow me.
Holy shit.
Now. I am El Presidente, which means that someday you will be El Presidente. And our people, they do not know how to be happy. They are torn apart by opinions, noise, indecision, strangled by their own freedoms. And even if you have love in your heart, even if you want what's best for them, if you only want to save them from themselves, get you, Diego. Everything you say, do, believe, will be wrong. They will answer you with screams. Call you evil. A monster. And give you this. So you tell me, are you evil? And are you a monster? Because our country is like this grenade, except it has two basic parts. Our people and you must clutch them nice and tight, or we all go boom. You understand now? Prove it.
That was fucking awesome. Wow. Holy shit. That was tight. February 18th.
And with that,
Gonna get
we're
delayed,
wrapping up our
but
first
February 18th?
Ubisoft
Okay.
Forward.
It's not gonna make it. Bro.
Today, we've
Yeah,
seen the
probably
next
not.
generation
That
of
is not
Assassin's Creed, the birth of a resistance in Watch Dogs Legion, the cyber chaos of Hyperscape, and the epic reveal of Far Cry's newest installment, along with so much more.
Remember, we'll
Oh,
be back
we
later
didn't see
this
Gods and
year
Monsters.
with another Ubisoft Forward filled with tons of game news and updates.
Thanks for joining us.
Because I would have figured that God of Monsters would take the February spot, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's probably the next one. You know, they hinted a couple times. Like, hey, so Ubisoft Forward is a brand now.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Ubisoft Forward post show.
So-
My name is
I'll
Yusuf
put on the
Nadeem,
volume, but
and
I'll keep
this
the
is
gameplay
Assassin's
going.
Creed Valhalla. We're gonna take a deep dive into
Turn the
about
volume a little bit.
I can do the recap really quick. Watch Dogs Legion, Hyperscape, some mobile games, Assassin's Creed, Valhalla, and then Far Cry 6.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys think of this format, this presentation for what games they had? Again, kind of like we said beforehand, we knew all of these. You know,
Right.
it's unfortunate that Far Cry 6 leaked because
That would have been a cool reveal.
it would have been a cool
Yeah.
reveal, you know, but like not a crazy thing. It's like, oh yeah, of course there's another Far Cry. It's probably time, but like,
Right.
damn, I always feel bad when their games leak because like they make cool reveal trailers, you know.
Definitely. Definitely.
So
Definitely.
I think this was good. They spent like time on each thing, and it was.
Yeah.
I don't think the only thing I thought took a little too long was the Watch Dogs gameplay stuff.
I agree entirely.
But
yeah.
I feel like for everything else, they spent an appropriate amount of time on.
yeah,
Including like the smaller games that like was just like a little bit. And I don't feel like anything dragged aside from the Watch Dogs thing, because that was up front. So going from there, I think they spent a good amount of time on each game, and the pacing was pretty good. It was under an hour. It's 3:49 right now, so I thought it was a good amount of time.
Yeah. And like I guess like theoretically, like it makes sense why they spent a little bit longer of a time on Legion, because they wanted to show off like, you know, the different characters that you could play as in the game. So, you know, I mean, to just play devil's advocate, but I did feel like it was a little bit long. Yeah, for sure. But I appreciate that when they were talking about like smaller games like Brawlhalla and the Elite Squad game as well, you know, any other like mobile games, they definitely pick up the pace on those. But overall, like I feel like beside Watch Dogs, I think everything was paced pretty well too. I'm pretty positive on this. Like, even though we like didn't get a lot of like big surprises, and that's just because of leaks and stuff like that. And also there's probably a bias because like I tend to really like Ubisoft games, you know?
Right.
Which is like another thing I do have to disclose. But like I was pleased with this whole thing. You know?
Yeah. I think it was a good showcase. Like, I'm with both you guys. I think that it didn't like have too much downtime.
Right.
Legion definitely started to feel a little long, but like it's the most drastic departure out of the formulas for all the games that they showed today. You know, like Assassin's Creed, it's going to be another Odyssey Origins, right? Far Cry, I bet it's going to be another Far Cry. Hyperscape got us good little setup, like story concept, some nice gameplay showcase because it's a BR, it's pretty straightforward. But Legion is the weird one, you know, like Legion is the thing that stands out of like, okay, it's a narrative, but it's like very flexible to each person's playthrough. And I thought they conveyed that fine. It stood out the most, I think, out of everything today, for sure.
Yeah. Like as like your favorite thing that you saw, or
no, just it stood out as like the thing that felt a little bloated, you know?
Right. Okay. I see. Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. I think I keep comparing these sort of conferences or whatever they are to the E3 conferences of yesteryear. And I don't know if that's fair because it doesn't seem like that's what they're going for. They're not going for like the super hype reveals or anything. It's mostly just like you kind of know what you're going to expect going into them, save for PlayStation, obviously, and probably Xbox. But they're more like a message to as a way to like interact with the community. And I think for what that is, like for what that was going for, I think it succeeded in doing that. It didn't sort of live up to the sort of hype E3 reveals that we're used to, but E3 really isn't a thing right now. So and they're sort of presenting it differently because of that. So for what it is, I think it was successful in what it showed. Yeah.
Do you guys think the next Ubisoft Forward is a like far away? Do you think this is going to be reoccurring frequently? Do you think we get like maybe one more this year? Because they didn't really give expectations on when to expect the next one, but they just said later this year.
Yeah.
So like I wonder if we get another deep dive one of Assassins or Watch Dogs before those come out, or if it would be maybe around like after these games launch in November or something. It's like, okay, so now here's like Gods and Monsters, the next Nintendo project, and a couple things like that.
Here's like Far Cry 6 gameplay, you know, like fully impact. Yeah, like I think that's we'll get, and then maybe some of the stuff that we don't know about as well. Like you said, like the like whatever their next like Nintendo, you know, not co-op like player, but like collaboration. That's the word. Collaboration is whatever. Yeah, partnership. Yeah. Yeah, I think, but I do wonder also, like, and I think you're probably asking this too, like, is this going to be like what their you know reaction to with seemingly no E3 ever, or like a very smaller in scale E3 in the future? You know, like it's just what they're doing from here on out, which I would be happy with that, just having this, you know. I think this was a really well first go at Ubisoft Forward, you know, and I feel like they were graced with not much more time than other devs and stuff like that, and other big names in gaming, but a decent amount of time they had, you know, to really make it good. And I feel like inevitably, like all of the, you know, digital only showcases are going to get better just off of the grace of time, you know, and just getting used to that format and everything. But this is like, I feel like the first example of like, okay, like this was very, very solid, you know, like I feel like there's like there's little to complain about unless like you're just not interested in Ubisoft games, you know what I'm saying? At least I feel like personally. So
yeah, and even though they didn't have surprises, I still think I was really like interested in a lot of what they showed. Like the Far Cry trailer was great. Assassin's Creed, seeing it in action, it's good. Again, it looks like it's just iterating on the recent new formula. And Hyperscape for sure. I'm interested in. So
yeah, that's definitely the highlight for me is Hyperscape. But like what you're saying, Kevin, like I'm not the biggest Ubisoft fan, but I have to give it to them for like the presentation of this showcase. Like none of the games really, I say for Hyperscape, really spoke to me in a way that I would be like, oh, I would totally pay full price for those. Maybe except Far Cry 6, but we'll see. But I think the presentation of what they did was quick. They didn't spend too long on anything, and it was just, I think, a pretty successful way of reaching out to the community and telling them what to expect going forward.
Yeah, for sure. So, and this gameplay looks cool too.
God damn, I know, right? I'm just like, oh man, I can't wait. I'm such a sucker for Odyssey, you know. So, can't wait. Yeah, I mean, overall, like this. I don't know if it's that like finally hearing Ubisoft again, like and like seeing what they have new in slate, because like that was definitely for me like in the past like one of my highlights for E3. Like I'd say like PlayStation, you know, some years definitely Xbox, you know what I'm saying, just on what they have to show. But then like in terms of like third party, it's definitely Ubisoft is like my favorite third party to watch, you know, and just see what they do.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they're my favorite third party this generation.
Yeah, for sure.
Just with their entire library in comparison. But yeah, good show. Do we want to rank this thing in the summer game mess of a lineup?
Let's do it.
I think we should run from the top to the bottom and just to catch jack up the speed on what we did yesterday.
Yeah. So
okay.
Devolver's definitely number one from what it sounds like.
Oh no. So we're gonna start last place, Unreal Engine 5. Then the Guerrilla Collective Day 3, then the PC Gaming Show, then the Avengers War Table, Inside Xbox, the first one of the summer, the Crash Bandicoot 4 reveal, the Squadrons Trailer Day, EA Play after that, Pro Skaters reveal, the New Game Plus Expo, Cyberpunk Night City Wire, the Future Game Show, Guerrilla Collective Day 2, Guerrilla Collective Day 1, Devolver Digital, Destiny 2, Beyond Light, and then the PS5 event number 1.
Wait, why are you guys being so sus about Devolver? I feel like that's fine.
Because
I mean, I just feel like that was going to be a little bit unprecedented to like put Devolver above like all of the other stuff that was below it, you know?
Yeah, because Devolver showed like 4 or 5 games maybe.
But it was...
And, like, it was
yeah.
And it was like a long show. It was very like they were going in on their lore and stuff, but it was a good way to present everything.
It was just funny as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, like it was great.
I would probably put this right between Devolver and Guerrilla Collective Day 1. I don't know how you guys feel.
Oh, I mean,
yeah. I mean, I really liked this. What's above Guerrilla Collective Day 1?
Devolver.
Sorry. What's above Devolver?
Destiny 2.
All right, I can't speak to either of those, so. But I like it being around there.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's definitely top 4 or 3. What do you think, Kevin?
I think I can, again, super biased over here, right? So take mine with a grain of salt, you know. I would put it above Devolver, shockingly, I think, you know. But if it's below it, you know what? It's in the neighborhood. It's fine. I can live with that. It's all good. No worries.
Yeah. I think if we want to like go off of the Ubisoft being another one of these companies doing their first like live presentation or like a pre-recorded presentation, you know, like the Xboxes, I know they've done them, but like for this type of approach,
right,
of like Xboxes and all these other random new shows popping up, they're one of the better ones. So I'm fine doing the third for this.
Sure.
Nope.
I'm down.
So the top 5 as it stands: Guerrilla Collective Day 1, Devolver, Ubisoft Forward, Destiny 2, and then the PS5.
Cool.
Damn.
Very nice.
Shout out to Ubisoft, man. Shout out to Ubisoft. Oh, big ups to Yusuf, by the way. Shout out to Yusuf.
Oh, yeah.
Fan.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Good presentation. Also, I did see for this schedule on Games Fest, Games Weekly. Do we know what that is?
What the hell is
I saw that too. I have no clue what that is.
Games Weekly. Is that like a...
It looks like there was one last week, too.
There was?
So maybe it's just like a Keeley talk show or something with like stuff that's going on.
Yeah, what is our next thing we got? I know there's Stadia something this week, but like, are we doing Stadia? Do we want to? Yeah.
I don't know. The next thing for sure is the Xbox showcase on July 23rd.
Absolutely.
So,
nice.
If anything gets announced in between then, we'll tweet it out at JoeyClicks on Twitter. But I think that's going to do it. So if you guys would like to plug yourselves, Jack, where can the people find you?
Sure. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at FascinatedJack.
Very nice. Beautiful. Kevin, you?
You can follow me at youtube.com/PlayStation Source. Road to Ghost of Tsushima Episode 5 just came out this morning. Bets and predictions. I had a lot of fun doing that with the old Arachnite. And, expect a lot of Ghost of Tsushima content this week. Of course, the stream series for that starting Thursday night. Mm-hmm. We are doing the challenge of trying to get through God of War Ascension last night. I ran into a game-breaking glitch.
Really?
Yeah,
oh, no.
I am. Yeah, I'm shocked. I was like, wow, really? Like, this is happening. Like, I literally could not progress. I had to restart the chapter. I exited out of the PS Now, went back in, and it was still happening. I'm like, man, crazy. So God of War Ascension is interesting. I'll say that. I'm sure more thoughts I'll have on Gamescast, Joker's Gamescast to be exact. Yes. But of course, on Twitter at PA Source Vids for PlayStation Source, or at the KDS123 for my other stuff I talk about.
Very nice. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, it's at Chris N. Buckley. And for streams for the rest of this week, schedule will be going up probably tomorrow morning. So look forward to that on there. And yeah, that's going to do it. So if you came by for these reactions, appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the show. And until next time.